Hey guys, Coach Gaglione here, GaglioneStrength.com, doing this interview for the fellow Diesel crew and Jed Johnson. So I just wanted to thank Jed for giving me the opportunity to talk to you guys. Got a lot of stuff going on right now, and I just want to kind of tell you guys a little bit about myself and kind of like my story. I actually haven't done this really before, so this should be kind of interesting. Just been doing a lot of writing lately, and just decided to kind of do this video instead. So kind of hope you guys like it, and we'll see how it goes. So one of the first question I got from Jed was just tell us about yourself, training and sports history, and how you kind of got into this industry. So I was an athlete growing up. I always kind of had a big instinct to train for my sport. I was a wrestler in high school. Used a lot of powerlifting methods and kind of trained the wrong way. I kind of had an idea what I was doing, but didn't really have the right technique. Wasn't really on the right program. Had a lot of big injuries. Tore my intercostal muscles, my abs, like my junior year in wrestling, and tore my hamstring in my senior year for football, and that kind of like led into my wrestling season. So I was never really like 100% in high school. I got very strong in the weight room, but really didn't transfer like on the field. My movement wasn't really ever that good. Body weight strength really wasn't that good. Power wasn't really that good. So I got really interested in just kind of researching the right way to train. Kind of started just on like West Side Barbell because I was really into powerlifting at the time. Still am. EliteFitnessSystems.com. And then I kind of started to branch off and kind of study more about sports and stuff like that as well, like on the internet and through conferences and seminars and stuff like that. In college, started competing in powerlifting after I was done with my wrestling career. Competed in the 198s Raw teenage division for a couple of years, and then as I got older, still stuck with it. So probably I've been powerlifting on and off for about 7, 8 years now, in competitive fashion. Still do it to this day. This is something about just getting onto the bar and get on the platform and staying competitive really just kind of motivates me to train, really dials you in. And I recommend that if you're an ex-athlete just doing something like a marathon, an Olympic weightlifting meet, powerlifting, strongman, bodybuilding, just sending in that check and just really dials in your training. And I just think just getting into strength sports is really really good. But just find some type of competition that you could just kind of stay competitive with. If you're not competing in athletics anymore, that's really good. So, not to get off on a tangent, but I just got into strength and conditioning. Just I got interested in trying to improve my own strength because I had a lot of injuries and I never really met my goals in athletics. And I felt like I kind of had unfinished business and still do. And I just want to be the strongest version of myself. I got into coaching wrestling. I've been coaching wrestling for the past number of years, as well as doing the strength and conditioning of it side of things. And I just started helping kids just on a volunteer basis at my old high school. I helped a lot of kids, and they've achieved some great success. And then I just decided that, you know, want to take it to the next level, kind of make it a career. It was a big passion of mine with myself. Um, just really, just really passionate about getting myself stronger and then helping these athletes. So I decided to get my personal training certification through there's a program at Hofstra University that I did, and then I just started training some athletes on the side here and there, and worked for someone for a number of years. And like I said, long story short, now I have my own gym, my own business. So that's kind of like how I got started into the field. Started just researching for my own personal gain, and just kind of stemmed into like a passion because I just really wanted to help others. Always was interested in teaching and educating others. So that's kind of how it all got started. As far as what some issues that I kind of see with some people that when they join my gym, injuries, balance and movements. That was another question from Jed. I think most people just need to worry about basic movement patterns. Everyone kind of thinks they're ready for the advanced programs, but there's really basic things like just mastering how to do a body weight squat, mastering how to do a push up, learn how to stabilize the spine with different types of planks. Breathing is huge. A lot of people don't know how to use their diaphragm and just breathe through their belly. Very upper trap dominant. Learning how to overhead press. Some people can't do that due to shoulder limitations and stuff, but I think as the mobility improves, most people can overhead press safely. Just learning how to do things like inverted rows and pull-ups and one-arm rows and basic rowing exercises for the upper back is huge. And just learning how to hip hinge, because that's going to really help you to learn how to deadlift and lock out your deadlifts properly with a neutral spine and stuff like that. So just really mastering the basic movements is key. Most people just don't have good body awareness when they get in. Very usually a weak core and weak upper back and just the entire posterior chain, the glutes and hamstrings, always weak. So we got to bring those up. That's huge. Um, with wrestling and stuff, a lot of times they're banged up, so I always make sure I have all different specialty bars depending if the shoulders are banged up. We have the safety squat bar, neutral bench bar, stuff like that. So there's always different ways you can modify the program based on the athlete. I think that's really important that you always have your set program and your set plan, but don't be afraid to deviate it depending on the athlete. I think that's huge in making sure that you just find a variation where that they can really move efficiently and that they're not in pain. They should never be training through pain. Find ways to train around it and just kind of keep moving forward. So having the specialty bars is really important. Don't be afraid to just regress the exercise, make it a little bit easier. Um, for example, like we always start our guys off with like a front-loaded squat. It's a lot easier to learn. So like front squat, zercher squats, that kind of thing, goblet squats. It's a lot easier to learn that proper back position. It's a little easier on the spine. Um, Drop bar deadlifts are another good modification for a regular deadlift. Kind of easier on the low back, easier to learn. You can kind of get your quads a little bit more involved in the lift. Shoulder issues, like I said, neutral bars, uh, using body weight instead of external load is good. So doing push-ups and stuff like that. If bench bothers the shoulders, there's other ways you could do it. Limited range of motion as well, like floor press and stuff like that. It's really good. Um, but the biggest thing I think with the injuries and stuff, guys, is just you really got to learn the proper movement. A lot of times, most people, especially younger athletes and stuff, can do the basics, but you just got to learn how to do the basics properly. Learn how to stabilize the spine. Learn how to pack the shoulders, keep a neutral neck, just like basic things like that. And a lot of people screw those things up. So the shoulder position, the low back position, pelvis position, everything like that, stabilizing the spine, learning to brace, learning to breathe properly. All these things are really, really important, and people kind of like overlook them. As far as modifying the programs based on different people and different athletes, I train a lot of wrestlers, so we really make sure that we really have a big emphasis on grip training. I've learned a lot of stuff from Jed and Smitty over the years, and utilizing the different types of grip. Not just one method, not just using fat grips. We do pinch training, we do open hand training, like with the fat grips. We'll do forearm work, we'll do wrist roller work. So we attack the grip and the forearms from different angles. I think the stronger your grip is, the stronger your connection with the barbell, and it's also just gonna help you no matter what your sport is. But for someone like a wrestler, crushing grip's really important. The support grip's really important. You gotta have the grip strength. You gotta be able to crush it just to get a hold of it, and have the grip endurance and the forearm endurance to hold on. And that's really, really important for any combat, MMA, wrestling athlete. So we make sure we also train the neck with those individuals that play contact sports. Really learn to stabilize the neck. We use a lot of do isometrics, chin tuck variations, and also with the bands. As far as regular Joes, for them, we might not use a straight bar at all with them because it's just kind of like they're not doing a powerlifting contest. We still like to work on strength and get them heavy, but stuff like the safety bar for squats to keep the stress off the shoulders, or maybe just front squats if they may have some lower back issues but still want to lift heavy with the legs. Trap bar deadlifts maybe instead of regular deadlifts, or some type of rack pull if the mobility is limited, so they could really just focus on a good clean hip hinge. So it just really depends on the individual. And it goes back down to like you have to have some sort of assessment process. We kind of have like a baseline workout at Gaglione Strength, which is just going through all the basic kind of fundamental movements, squatting, hinging, pulling, and pushing of the upper body, and just stabilization of the spine. So watch them do a push-up. Are they keeping their elbows in? Are they packing the neck? Are they keeping their abs tight? Are they pulling themselves down utilizing the lats? So that's going to indicate if they're ready kind of for a more advanced pressing, or bench press variation in the future. If you're not sure if they're ready to lift overhead, see if they could just do a floor slide or a scapular wall slide. See if they have enough external rotation and shoulder flexion to actually get their arms overhead without pain. Is there any pinching? Is there any pain with just lifting their arms overhead? Actually, just bring their arms overhead. Watch them do a body weight squat. Are their knees collapsing in? Are they keeping their chest up? Are they pulling themselves down into the hole? Are they just plopping into the hole? So watching them move, that's like the biggest assessment for me. Watch them just do a body weight hip hinge. If they can't hip hinge with their body weight, they're not going to be able to deadlift a lot, if at all, with a neutral spine. They got to be able to hinge at the hips and brace the spine and keep that spine neutral. That is huge. Anything else about modifications or assessments? If you have your own assessment process, I just like I said, watch them do the basic movements in an unloaded fashion. Watch how they do a plank. Are they stabilizing correctly? Are they just hanging on their spine? Are they hanging on their joints? Are they properly, getting their shoulder blades and neck in the right position during pressing movements? Are they properly retracting the shoulders and using the upper back properly, stabilizing the shoulder girdle when they're doing pulling movements? So all these like little things. Watch how they move. Have a flip camera, have your phone, whatever it is. Just watch them. You could tape it, review it, and watch like everything they're doing. Watch all the different joint angles. Watch the scapular position. Watch the low back position. Watch the neck position and the knee position. Are the knees collapsing in or are the knees tracking the feet? So that'd be my advice for an assessment. Um, this is something like I said, you have to develop your own systems as you go to more conferences, network with more people. I have my own set progressions at Gaglione Strength, and it's just something that's been a culmination of probably like really like the last decade or so, maybe even more if you include like my high school training, but and middle, all that stuff. But just the past like 6, 7, 8 years of me working with kids, and then the past like decade of my just training myself, has been really a culmination of all the systems I use at Gaglione Strength. Because like I said, I've been, really training hard and heavy since I've been 14, 15 years old. Not really the right way, but it's still experience, and you kind of like learn from all those experiences, and you learn from your mistakes and what not to do. Um, you know, Definitely, I always recommend investing in the education so you can learn from more people, and learn from their mistakes and learn from what's working and what's not working. I think that you got to have your set progressions as a coach, and that's going to really help with all the movement imbalances and stuff like that. And it's going to help ingrain proper movement. So some examples of that would just be like just simple rules like going from a front loaded position first to a back loaded position. So definitely like a goblet squat first before you start doing back squats, so they could learn that proper spine position and to kind of take some of the guesswork out of the equation. For barbell pressing movements, I like to do a floor press before I do a bench press. The floor press is a limited range of motion. They can work on tucking the elbows and all the upper body mechanics, and you don't have to worry about the leg drive and the arch and all the nuances of the legs. And then once they go to the bench press, then you can start teaching the leg drive and all that, and you just kind of break it down from there. For like pull-ups and stuff like that, we always start our guys off with a flexed arm hang. Just work on the top. Because usually the top of the pull-up is usually the hardest, and usually when it gets the most ugly and they kind of lose their shoulder position, they start shrugging a lot, they start kicking, so we get some strength in the top end range of motion for the pull-ups. Keep the chest up, shoulders down and back, and just gain some strength in that pattern. And then when you go to regular pull-ups, they're going to move a lot cleaner as well. Um, those are some basic rules and stuff. You have to develop your own assessments and your own systems, of course. If you'd like more information about some stuff that we got working on, myself and my friend Todd Baumgartner, we met through actually James Smith seminar, maybe like a year and a half ago, probably a year and a half ago. At whatever the first AMP seminar was, that was probably the first time we met in person. We've kind of connected and stuff through email, during that time, and he was a really smart guy. We had like a lot of similar ideas. He writes for T Nation as well. He's always trying to get himself better, and we had some of the same mentors. Like Smitty's definitely a big mentor of mine. I know he's a big mentor of him as well. And we decided to kind of put our heads together and come up with this system ourselves and kind of put all our knowledge together, both as competitive lifters, as coaches, and athletes, and come up with this system called the Supreme Strength System. And the Supreme Strength System is pretty much just it's not just a strength program. We have all the components that necessary for athletic development, performance, and just to become pretty much the strongest version of yourself. We have mobility programs in there and a mobility manual, a power program if you're an athlete looking to gain explosive power and learn how to jump further, jump higher, run faster, and then the Supreme Strength manual and program, which outlines all the progressions in there as well as modifications if you need. So it's a plug and play, it's a template with also it has a 14-week program to kind of just kind of peak you so you can gain maximal strength in the minimal amount of time. Also, but with a minimal amount of equipment. All you really need is barbells, dumbbells, free weights, and then either if you have access to a cable column, you could use a cable column at a commercial gym. If you don't have access to a cable column, you'll just need a couple of bands just to do a few of the exercises, but nothing crazy. Just minimal equipment required. Mostly body weight. 90% of the program is body weight and free weights. And that's it. Basic exercises, guys. That's what wins. You got to master those. And we'll show you how to master the basics and how to progress them the right way. Um, as far as who this program is for, if you're an athlete, it's going to help you get maximally strong in the minimal amount of time. If you're just someone who's looking to to be the strongest version of themselves, it'll get you there in the minimal amount of time in 14 weeks. And if you're even like, I've actually used this system to help peak some of my own lifters for a powerlifting competition. So it's helped them a lot. Are they elite level lifters? No, but they've put on some serious poundages to lift. 50 pounds on their squat and deadlift in just like a couple of months. Pretty remarkable stuff. 30 plus pounds, 20 pounds on their bench press and like overhead press. I mean, some of these guys, and these are not all just beginning level lifters. These are guys who've been lifting for a couple of years, so which makes the progress even more astounding. But just the process of the coaching, because the program is going to outline how to do the lifts, what all the coaching cues are, how to move effectively, and it's just going to progress you in a sound way, so you're ready as the program gets more difficult. Your body is ready and it's accustomed to those higher workloads, and you can really accelerate their progress that much more. So the Supreme Strength system is just going to give you an inside look on the programs we use with our athletes at Gaglione Strength, as well as with my buddy Todd at Beyond Strength and Performance. Um, and it's going to really just show you how to be the strongest version of yourself in the shortest amount of time possible. It's probably one of the most comprehensive products I've seen out there. It's something that I've worked on for well over a year, and it's really the culmination of all my knowledge, like I said, for like this past decade. Um, it's hundreds and hundreds of pages. There's hundreds of exercise videos and pictures in there. Um, it has the science behind the programs, why you're going to learn why there's certain lifts in each phase. It's not just going to tell you this is the program and that is. It's not like just here's the program and that's it. We're going to tell you exactly why you're doing the lifts on each phase, and it's just going to really kind of it's done for you. It's a done for you system, and you can modify it to fit your needs. It's not just your typical 14-week program ebook. This is an all-encompassing manual and a system for your success. So I highly recommend you check it out. It's Supreme Strength for Sports. The website is supremestrengthforsports.com. Whether you're a coach, you're a lifter, or just someone looking to be the strongest ever, check out Supreme Strength for Sports right now. Okay? All right, gang. Thanks again for the opportunity. If you have any questions, you can reach me at gaglionestrength@gmail.com. Talk to you guys soon. Later.